Hello and welcome, this is South Engard Paranormal. So hi everyone, it's me Adam, back with you again, and today I'd just like to say Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you all had a great time New Year's Eve. First and foremost, I've got to give a massive apology to the amorous couple in the car that I disturbed with my camera light down Workhouse Lane about half hour, well, about an hour ago now. Yeah, I've just done a little bit of filming down there. It's not a lot. It's literally just a shot of the lane. That's all I went down there for. I did want to do some nighttime drone footage. Unfortunately, the camera lights I've got just aren't powerful enough to give a decent spread. So I had to sort of compromise a little bit. But yeah, I've got to apologise to a couple in that red car, because I'm like, oh god, what's that? And I shine my torch around, or my camera light, and like, okay, yeah, right, so no more. So I've just walked past a little bit and went round. So yeah, apologies to those guys and girls, or whoever was in there. Oh, sorry. Anyway, moving on. I'll get onto the retina bit in a minute. Yeah, New Year's Eve was fun. I ended up working in the Traveller's Joy in Rayleigh, so there's a bit of a tenuous link there with Rettendon, because those of you obviously follow me for what Rettendon stuff I do and know the story of Rettendon, know that the Traveller's Joy does feature in the witness statements. So yeah, it was kind of ironic that, because there was a few jobs I was supposed to have done, and there was at one point I wasn't going to do any work because I wouldn't go out and have a, you know what I mean, a few jars with some friends. But I ended up working, and it was at the Traveller's Joy in Rayleigh, of all places. Particularly when my regular Friday night's in Putney. I'm not going to go into the story because it's quite long-winded, but yeah, that's what I did. Traveller's Joy Rayleigh. It's yeah, it was just weird how that occurred, but yeah, it was good. Finished at 12:30. I was able to go around to my friends and still enjoy a bit of the party. I just couldn't have any drink. That was all. So yeah, but a good time all round. And to the DJs out there that were needlessly testing themselves, well done. I've just done extra money because the money I earned more than what I probably would have done, because venues were where they was expecting a DJ to work and they've cancelled and so on. Obviously my money's been bumped up. So yeah, well done guys, you've done yourself out of money and I've got more for it. That's all I'm saying. Thanks. Maybe you should think about getting tested. If you're not ill, don't get tested. It's that simple. It really is. Anyway, moving on. That's a different thing. So content-wise, what I've been up to, and as I just said, I've disturbed the couple, Workhouse Lane. Now, what I intended to do, I've just been down there to, what I wanted to do was some aerial nighttime footage, because I've got a little accessory for my Mavic, which has like a mount on top of it where you can attach like a GoPro, or it's a little normal camera mount, so you can fit anything onto it. And obviously I've got plenty of lights. Now my big camera light, unfortunately, is just way too heavy for it. It's totally unstable with it. So the smaller lights it's okay with. So I've gone down there with that attached to it, but it just was not powerful enough by any stretch of imagination. So my plan to get a nice nighttime aerial shot of the lane, that's all I wanted to do. I know I wouldn't have the light to be able to do a massive overhead shot. I just wanted to keep it sort of localised. It just wasn't powerful enough, so I've compromised a little bit. I have done something still. It just wasn't what I intended to do, so it's just a nice little thing to get you going for this year. That will be up very soon, next couple of weeks, fingers crossed. Yeah, not only that, but I did have a little stop off in Haldon on the Hill. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I'd finished Putney, more than a couple of weeks ago, so about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I stopped off on my way home from, I think it was either Putney or think it was Putney. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I thought, there's a few stories about Haunted on the Hill. I'll just have a cheeky little soiree around the church there and see if I pick anything up. So I'm just literally finishing the edit for that. But I didn't have an intro for it because, as you see, my intros normally have shots of wherever I am and, you know, a little bit of history or what have you. So literally I've gone back to do that as I've just spoken. Yeah. Now obviously recording wise I haven't really done anything this weekend because it's New Year's Day, so I've just got on with a couple of other bits. Episode content wise this week, we visit St Andrew's Church in Heybridge, which is near Malden. And the weird thing was, I kind of wanted to visit this place, but Ricky suggested it. And the reason being is I was watching one of the other paranormal teams from Essex. They'd done one of because there's like an industrial estate beyond St Andrew's Church, and one of them was haunted, and one of the teams has gone in to do a investigation and see what they picked up, and it was a very very intriguing evening what they did. Got some great results. So, but the church was mentioned in their investigation, so I thought, well, maybe it might pay off to go and do a little investigation in the church itself. And we picked up one or two things which you'll see Wednesday. So yeah, that being it, that's what's coming up this week. Regarding other stuff I've done now, as you know, Hellfire, I've got to get onto that with the editing. It's probably the last thing I'll edit on what's on my system at the moment, because I've got to work with what's there, because it's sort of I've got to try and get everything in order, I think is the best way I could describe it. The Rochford 100, I'm actually going to split that up into 5 sections, basically because the whole lot, when I put it together, was about 2.5–3 hours. It's a lot, and you know, I like to try and keep my episodes around half-hour-ish, give or take, hour tops. So what I'm going to do is split it down into 5 segments, because we've done different parts of the building, and we did the church as well. Now the church St Andrews, which you know we've already been to. If you remember the spirit Gary, he's still there, because we found out, and not just me, but one of the other, because we split up into like different teams, and one of the other teams come across Gary as well. So it was good to see that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with Rochford 100. It's going to be a 5-parter. Now the interesting thing, or one of the interesting things with the Rochford 100, they did use Ouija board. Now, those that know my feelings on Ouija boards, I was a little bit unsure. So although I sort of stayed in the room, I didn't get involved with the Ouija board. However, on the first session, the spirit himself didn't like Ouija boards, which is quite interesting. So we moved it away, but we still, or rather, the guys that were sitting around the table, because I was filming, were still able to do a communication via the table itself. But you'll see it. Now, obviously, I was watching the session and I was quite happy. As I said, although I've got reservations about Ouija boards, it's mainly down to people not opening and closing the sessions properly. That's where the issues occur. And I was quite satisfied that the crew that was there done it properly. You know, opening the session and closing it, you know, say goodbye, thank the spirit, and so on. You know, I was happy that it was done properly. And then when we moved to the next room to do that, you know, the same thing. So yeah, I was actually fine with it at the end. But as I say, it's my concern is that when people do it, it's for nefarious reasons, and or they don't open and close the sessions properly. That's where the issues occur. But yeah, it was a really good night, as I say. And what I'm doing is split them down to 5 chunks, which are a bit more bite size, so you can see the different responses. So yeah, that was Rochford 100. Yeah, Hellfire, as I say, that'd be the last thing I edit because I've got to get things in order. Yeah, and as regarding places to go and film at, yeah, I've got loads of stuff to look at. There's going to be a road trip up to Warrington at some point near Liverpool, which I'll be going with the boys at Liquid Bullet Productions, who you all know and love. So that should be a laugh. And yeah, apparently there's a very haunted pub up there, which a guy's asked me to investigate. So I'll see what I can find now, whether I can help in any way, because there's a bit of an issue between the spirit that's in there and the guy that owns the pub. But yeah, as I say, I'll cross that bridge and I'll come to it, and obviously you'll get the details as I do. So yeah, that's coming up. There's still plenty of faults to go visit. Hopefully get some more internal investigations going as well, because I just literally just started them, and it's quite a different ball game when you're doing buildings to you know, when you're doing open ground. Yeah, so exciting times ahead really. Now I'm going to leave it there. As I said, Heybridge Wednesday in near Malden. And there's they're always St Andrew's churches or St Mary's. I don't know what. Anyway, there we go. Gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you Wednesday, and then for the next vlog session on the Monday. All the best.